Hey guys, we have a very, very special video for you today. We made one of probably the coolest discoveries on this trailer that we've made to date. We found evidence of this trailer's past life from the pilot presentation filmed in April of 1982. It is something you are absolutely not going to want to miss. In addition to that, my son and I are going to climb up into the attic of the trailer where we're going to uncover a bunch of other, little bits from its past life on Knight Rider. So you trust me, you don't want to miss 1 second of this video. Let's get going. Do you want to help with the semi's restoration? Donate now to the Semi Restoration GoFundMe initiative or buy one of our awesome Semi Restoration Team shirts. Links are in the video description below. So you might be wondering where we're at, my son and I. We are actually in the attic of the trailer, up on the drop deck here. I don't know if you can see it. And it's pretty dark because we can't put the ramp down currently because the battery doesn't work. Yeah, the battery's kind of dead, and I keep charging it and it doesn't hold a charge, so I think we need a new battery. So we're going to do this kind of by candlelight, flashlight, whatever. But there's some neat things up here I wanted to show you guys. So let's just take a look, shall we, Andrew?
We shall.
Okay. All right, so let's start right here. So just to put it in perspective, this is the ramp door back here, all right? And you can see here the winches that they put in right here, and then these two batteries. This all gets cut out. A couple interesting things. First of all right, so this cutout right here we think is original from the show. Actually, we're almost positive it's original from the show. So you see how there's this slot cut. This is the header panel right on the outside. So right here is one of the 3 marker lights. Let's put it in perspective. This slot cutout we can actually see on the show, so we kind of know that that's original. And you can see how the ramp door is right there. There was something in here, a metal pin or something, because if you look, there's let's see if I can get a good picture. There's some holes on the side. So what I think this was a manual lock. So when the door was closed, they would put a pin through here to hold the door shut, because I mean, if you're traveling down the road, you don't want just these 2 cables being responsible for holding the door shut, right? They needed some kind of a physical lock, and that's what this is right here. There was a pin when the door was closed, it came through here, and then there was a pin that went through here or something along those lines to hold the door shut mechanically. Pretty neat, huh, Andrew? You gonna tell some ghost stories?
In a different video, maybe, because this video is about trailers.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so I don't think we've shown this yet, but see if we'll stick our flashlight here so you can kind of see, so I can move some of these cables. Here are the 4 bolts that held the pulley up. There was we've talked about it in previous videos. Originally, there was a pulley right here, and the cable for the doors ran right through here and then mounted to the doors. Now, obviously, they've added these winches up here with their own cables. But you can see here, all the bolts have been cut, but there used to be a wood block on there, and then the pulley. So let's see if we can bring it in closer here. So yeah, so there you can see the top 2 bolts, and you can see the bottom 2 bolts there. But over here, there's a couple additional bolts here, 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 and here, which correspond to the ones on the outside, obviously. So the way this worked was there was the wood block there, and there was a metal L channel that ran across here basically to support that block. So with the tension of the pulley, it wouldn't pull the block, you know, off the side of the trailer. So all these bolts, again, they've all been cut, which means, unfortunately, they all need to come out and all need to be replaced. And of course, they tack welded. Even though these are aluminum panels, they put some weld on the steel bolts to hold them in. So we're gonna have to cut all that off. It's never easy. But that's what we're looking at here. And the original rail, because remember how we talked about how there was the original roll-up door was here? You can see, I think these are the mounting holes right here for the track for the roll-up door. Pretty sure about that. All right, so I think that's all we need to cover there. And also look how it's painted black right through here, right? Because this whole area was kind of open. When the door was open, you could see into this area. So this was all painted black on that side, you know, and it's a similar situation on that side. Where it's white down there was, they never painted it because the original plywood used to be in there. Now, it has since been removed because they had some styrofoam insulation in there, but that gives you an idea of kind of what things look like in here. And that pulley, I'm pretty sure that pulley is original. Not 100% sure what it did though, but we'll figure it out.
I might know what it did.
What?
So you were talking about the lock, it might have held the lock in.
Oh no, it might have something to do. Actually, it is lined up. If you look at it, that's not a bad observation, Andrew. It is lined up with where that lock was. So maybe there was something right there. Not sure, but maybe that pulley is related to the lock in some way. Yeah, you could be right. And I don't know what that thing is right there. It's only on this side, it's not on the other side, but you can see that in the wrong crowd when the door is open. You can actually see that piece there. I don't know if that's original door C, might be, but there's only one on that side, not on the other side. And even going down here, you know, looking at this, you can see the holes where the original track was for the roll-up door. It's all gone now, but we'll be replacing that at some point. All right, Andrew, so why don't we crawl back into this dark abyss? And I want to show our viewers one other thing. So why don't you start crawling back here, and I will tell you when to stop. Still looking for a buyer for this drop deck that we don't need. Any buyers? Are you going to buy it, Andrew?
If times are desperate and nobody buys it, which I don't know why someone in their right mind doesn't buy it.
Yeah, someone might buy it. All right, so stop right here. Whoops. This is the other thing. Yes, shine your light on those 3 bolts, Andrew. So you remember, maybe not directly into the camera. All right.
Okay.
So you guys remember on the outside of the trailer, I showed you those 3 bolts at the very top. Well, here's what they are on the inside. And what's interesting to note here is, unlike those bolts on the other side, these ones do not appear to be cut, right? You can see the kind of concave finish on the end of these bolts. These do not appear to be cut, but what were they for, right? I mean, they're pretty short, so I just don't know what they could have been used for. But see, definitely not cut. What do you guys think? Why are these bolts here? And by the way, all this conduit, all these outlets, these all have to get ripped out there. And same thing on that side. I'm not going to crawl over there, but you can see the 3 bolts right there, and those ones, maybe I should crawl over there. Let's see if those ones were cut. Ugh. I don't think.
Don't look like it.
Nope, those weren't cut either, but that one's bent. Look at that.
How did it get bent?
That's a great question, Andrew. I don't know how it got bent, but that one is definitely bent.
Might be
those
bent.
2, well, yeah, it looks like something was pulling on it. So. Or pushing, but probably pulling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they had something attached to it. Oh, I know what it might have been.
What's that?
Wait, were they actually driving the trailer on the road?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. So let's crawl forward, Andrew, and I want to look at something on the ceiling. So can you crawl further back into the trailer?
Yes, it's possible. There's all kinds of chips and paint on the floor.
Yes, those are coming from the ceiling.
Is it original?
Original paint chips? Yes, actually, I think it is. do we see any doors on the ceiling? Yes, we do.
Where?
Straight ahead. Keep going.
Why do you need to see a door?
I'll tell you why we need to see a door. Right above your head is a door.
Oh yeah.
Move out of the way.
Okay.
A little bit. All right, so Andrew, we are way back into the trailer, in fact.
As you can see, this is where...
Look how far back. But a couple things that I want to point out here. First of all, this is the other vent that has since been closed up. Now, if you remember in a previous video, I showed you the vent we found above the lounge, and I talked about how that vent was the one that Hasselhoff crawled out of in Goliath. I was mistaken. It's actually this vent right here. This is the one he crawled out of. It's about 16 inches square.
Wow.
It's since been closed up, obviously, riveted shut with metal. So we're gonna have to cut this out and put an appropriate door back in there, but there is your other vent. One other thing of interest, you remember that mysterious rail that we saw on the roof of the lounge? Well, clearly it's not here. However, there is very clear evidence that that rail went this whole way. You see it? See all the paint? How the paint's different right there?
Yes.
That, see, if we look at the colors here, this was painted black. This is the original steel color. So whatever that rail was that we talked about, it was original to the show, and it went at least down to there. Now obviously, I don't know if I can show you this, there's carpeted panels on the roof further down. So we have to tear those down and see if that rail went the whole way, but that might be another clue as to how this whole door mechanism was set up.
What's
Pretty
this?
neat.
What is that?
Boy, that's a great question. I don't know what that is. I mean, there's a bolt there, but I never noticed that.
It's not a bolt. It's got like a pin down the middle and it's hollow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Is there another one?
I don't think so.
No.
It almost looks like something you could hook up a high pressure air device to.
Oh, maybe. So this right here is not the lounge. The lounge is on the other side of that white aluminum sheeting. This is just, if you remember, in the drop part of the deck, there was a space where the ceiling was lifted and over. That's what this is. So this all obviously needs to come out. Do we see anything else here? This is, these stainless panels right here, the door, the man door is right there. So this all needs to come out as well. And see, so we're back out at the door, and you can see here that something was screwed in here. It's possible that rail went the entire length of the trailer. I don't know.
We've got a new feature across the Knight Rider Historians YouTube channel, Super Thanks, not to be confused with Super Pursuit. With Super Thanks, you have the option to post a distinct, colorful, and fully customizable comment in our videos comments section. This shows the world that you are a super Knight Rider fan and will stand out amongst the sea of comments that we receive. Go ahead, give it a try. And every Super Thanks gets a super response from us. Press the thanks button. Just don't press the turbo boost.
Hey guys, might have made an interesting, possibly exciting discovery on the semi. But first, it's not on this side, but I need to give you a little backstory here. So do you remember we've talked about this corner here with the grab bar for the wrong crowd, whatever. So you see how there's this panel, there's this sheet metal bent in an L shape covering the back of the trailer. Now at first we thought this was added later after the show, but we've been able to find screenshots that clearly show that this trim piece has been on the trailer the entire time. All right, so that's not what the exciting part is. Remember I said all of this was soda blasted, so all the original black and gold is gone. Well, take a look at this. If we walk over to the other side here, this trim piece is gone. The one that's on the other side. We know it was there because we can see all of the holes, right? But I was standing back and looking at this.
and I started to notice something strange right here, and we'll see if we can capture it with the camera. Do you see these lines right here? Right there, there's distinct lines here. Is it possible that some of the original gold trim is under here? And I'm not talking gold trim from the final paint job or even the paint job in Hearts of Stone. I'm talking about the gold trim from the Pilot, the original Knight Industries black and gold trim. So we're gonna do a little wet sanding here and see if we can find any gold. Take a look at that. There's distinct lines right there. See that? Let's keep going. And take a look at that. Can you see that? There's some gold right there poking through. Right there. There is gold right there. Let's do a little more here. There's more gold right there. Look at that. Right there. There's gold poking through. And these are the stripes. These are the original stripes from the Pilot presentation in 1982, because they're way too high up on the trailer to be anything else. See, there's a thin stripe there, and then looks maybe like a bigger one here. We're gonna have to wet sand this whole panel and see what we can find. Now, is this gold or is this rust? Let's see here. So there's definitely gold around here. That's not rust. Just the little bits of gold. But this right here is what's really interesting. Boy, it's just so tiny, but that's definitely gold paint. Definitely gold paint. Now the question is, can we get a big enough piece to do a color match without sanding away the gold? Oh, it's such a thin layer of gold too, right in there. Let me back down so you can kind of see where we're at here. So you can see we're like halfway down the trailer, which lines up with the original Pilot paint scheme right there. That's what that is right there, clear as day. There's the black stripe. There was gold here and then black here, and then it alternated. If you remember, the original design was black, thin black and gold stripes, and then I believe it was all black down here, and wasn't it gold up there? So we might have to do a bunch of sanding up there to see what we can find, but ooh, this is exciting. So take a look at this. We found gold paint from the original Pilot paint job. Unbelievable. The panel that was here saved all of this. This is all soda blasted. This panel on the very back, there's the ramp, is all original paint. This is the gold paint job from the Pilot. This is the white paint job from the first 12 episodes. This is the black paint job, Hearts of Stone forward. Unbelievable. Let's just see if we can make this just a tiny bit bigger.
That's it. We've got gold, which means we can color match. Put it in perspective. We are right there. That's the gold. And if you look at the pilot paint scheme, it was painted gold up here, and then there were black and gold stripes, and the bottom was black. After 40 years, 40 years, that paint shines through again. Right there. Gold paint job. Unbelievable. It's a metallic. You can see it's a metallic gold. That's our gold color we're going to use for the trailer. Now we're pretty sure still, I'm positive the decals they put on later were not paint. They were vinyl decals. That was a paint job. That's what we're going to match it to. Unbelievable. The trailer still gives up secrets after all these months. Alright, so I think that's probably all the further I want to go with this, only because I realize in order to reveal the gold, I'm actually taking away the history of not only the black paint job, the original black paint job, but the original white paint job from the first 12 episodes. So I don't necessarily want to do any more here. When this trailer is restored, this will absolutely be preserved. We are not going to do anything with this. You remember earlier I talked about that sheet metal. There was a sheet metal piece that went here and around the back. It's still on the driver's side. The passenger side is missing. What we're going to do is we're going to get that piece recreated, and we're going to cover this, keeping it exactly the way it is. Now, so you can see here, this is one of the gold stripes, and then there was a black stripe, and then this is more gold. I think this is the start of the gold that went the entire way up. This is possibly another black stripe across here, then there was gold, then black. But this is enough for me to say, well, this trailer is definitely the one used in the pilot presentation, used in the first 12 episodes, used in the rest of the series. I mean, the history of this paint doesn't lie. One interesting thing to note, I don't know if you can tell through the camera, but the white paint job that's on it now is a totally different shade of white than what was on it back in 1982. The 82 white paint job almost looks like a cream color, whereas the current one is just like a bright white, and maybe that's picking up here on the camera. So I think there's one thing left to do. I want to get my buffer out, and I'm going to just run over this just to see if I can get that gold metallic to like really pop. So let's see. All right, I'm going to bring you in closer. Can you see the metallic flake in that paint? I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. Definitely a nice metallic gold. And that is what we are going to be replicating. So now let's pull you back. Let's get our ladder out of the way here. So now you can see how far up the stripe is? Pilot presentation. Definitely wouldn't be up that high. Actually, it would be probably down here for the ones that go down like that, and the shield over here. Pilot presentation. And then the rest of this, if I were to sand the rest of this panel up here, it should all be gold. We're not going to, because that's like erasing history, and we don't want to lose the paint jobs from subsequent paintings by Universal, right? So, one thing I forgot to mention, so I did do a test sand here, and this is bare metal. If you can see, that sheet metal piece only went to right here, as you can see. So clearly, whenever this was soda blasted, that panel was here protecting all of this, didn't protect this area. So this was all soda blasted. Thankfully, those panels covered this, and because of that, we now have gold to match.
Well, I think that's enough excitement for one day, don't you? From uncovering the other roof vent opening, to seeing all those studio-added bolts from the inside, to uncovering a 40-year-old paint job from the very first days of Knight Riders filming. Well, what more secrets can the trailer reveal, right? You know, I keep thinking that we've made all the discoveries we're going to make on this trailer. Then things like this happen. I bet even more will be revealed as we continue to tear apart the inside. Remember, we still need a buyer for the drop deck on the inside of the trailer. Otherwise, I'm afraid it'll have to be cut out with a Sawzall piece by piece. We still have a bunch of stuff to cut off the underside of the trailer, and we're also working on the tractor to get it ready to go out for a tune-up and paint prep. The fun never stops here at KRH HQ, so thanks for coming along with us on the ride. We'll catch you next time.